This is an overview of the top charts and trends to watch in crypto and a weekly update on the latest at Token Terminal. Hey, it's Oscar here, and I'm going to start this video off from the earnings leaderboard. Ethereum is still comfortably sitting at the top spot as XEN-related activity has still been burning lots of ETH. Over the past 7 days, the XEN contract has consumed over $2.5 million in gas, which is down around 50% from last week's $5 million. Looking at gas consumption over a more recent time period, so the last 24 hours, we can see that the XEN-related activity is actually cooling down, and the contracts we're used to seeing in the top three are taking back the throne. So Uniswap, OpenSea, and Tether. It's likely that as this XEN-driven volume dies down, we'll start to see Ethereum drop down the earnings leaderboard over the next week or so, unless of course we see a new spike in activity from somewhere. Diving deeper into the trending contracts page, PancakeSwap is worth highlighting as it tops most of Binance Smart Chain's trending contracts views, no matter whether you sort based on gas consumption, transaction count, or interactions from distinct addresses. Also, looking at trending contracts on Polygon, there was a nice spike in the amount of transactions on Lens protocol over the past few days, which is mainly driven by users rushing to mint exclusive NFTs on Layer 3, which is a platform that curates interactive experiences through which anyone can discover and explore Web3. I have to admit, I also contributed to this activity by minting one myself. This week, we listed one new project to Token Terminal, and that was DFX Finance, which is a decentralized foreign exchange protocol with a bonding curve optimized for stablecoins. We also released a new episode of 15-Minute Fundamentals with Julian Ko from Ribbon Finance, so make sure to check it out because there's a lot of interesting stuff happening at Ribbon right now. Then on to the three charts featured in this week's newsletter. Starting with DeFi exploits, bridge exploits account for nearly half of all exploited funds, with around $2.5 billion lost out of the total $5.2 billion since September 2020. 5 of the 6 largest exploits have happened on cross-chain bridges, with the Ronin network topping the list at $624 million, closely followed by Poly network. Then we have the recent BNB bridge hack, Wormhole, and then the Nomad bridge. These hacks can typically be attributed to either smart contract loopholes, which was the case with, for example, Wormhole and Nomad, or compromised private keys, as was the case with Ronin and Harmony. There's an ongoing debate around whether the future of crypto should be cross-chain or multi-chain, and how the evidence security concerns should be addressed. I've had really good discussions on this topic with both Connext and Hop Protocol on our 15-Minute Fundamentals podcast, and after sharing this chart, Hop actually posted a great clip of Uma Roy and Chris Winfrey speaking on bridge security, and the fact that bridges aren't particularly insecure from a smart contract perspective, although there have been vulnerabilities there too. There are many more complicated contracts out there without similar security concerns. But the insecurity of bridges actually comes from rooting a bridge's security in off-chain authorities. So essentially trusting oracles and multisigs to have world-class security and protect against even state actors, which isn't really an ideal situation. Our second chart this week showcases the relation between revenue and active user development on the Ethereum Layer 2s, Optimism and Arbitrum. While user activity on these chains is trending up, transaction fee revenue, which is also the share of fees paid back to Layer 1 Ethereum, has been trending down. While Layer 2s enable new use cases and onboard more users, the question is whether this will end up in more fees being paid to Layer 1 Ethereum or not. The reality is that today you still need to scroll down our trending contracts page by quite a bit to find L2s when sorting by gas usage. Whether Layer 2s are good for Ethereum and ETH the asset or not is somewhat of a hot topic, so do let me know your take on this in the comments. Finally, we have a chart comparing the user deposits and token incentives between staking protocols Rocket Pool and Lido Finance. This year, Lido has paid out about $90 million in token incentives to its users, while Rocket Pool has only paid out around $15 million. With a 6 times higher spend on user acquisition compared to its main competitor, Lido's managed to acquire roughly 30 times more in user deposits. So based on only this data point, it seems that Lido is utilizing token incentives more efficiently than Rocket Pool. As of today, Lido has over $6 billion worth of ETH locked, while Rocket Pool has a bit under $300 million. And there you go, some charts and trends to keep an eye on. I hope you found this valuable, and make sure to head over to tokenterminal.com to create a free account and dive even deeper into the data. I'll see you next week.